as this is a talent industry, and publishers have a valuable reason to be there. But the bottom line is, we are the reason the industry is here. I'm sorry to every publisher out there, but that is the truth. In 1983, arcade developers, this is before my time, 13 years old when this happened, demanded their name on the title screen. Can you imagine? Demanded that their names actually show up somewhere, and that they get this novel thing called royalties. And I've talked to a couple of those guys. They got 50 reasons why they couldn't have their name on the front of the game. One of them was it was too expensive. They actually got that. It's pixels. You're free. The logic isn't always there, but the reason they didn't want their names on there was clear. And this was said to them. What happens when you guys get noticed? Someone might take you from us. Yeah, that's right. That's what talent is. You know what? They stuck together. They had huge battles. And they got both. And we owe it to them that we even have this stuff happening to us now. And it's time for us to get together. And it's time for us to start thinking as a unit and looking to get involved in this. So what can we do? First thing we can do is we can believe in our value. And honestly, talking to developers over the last year, this is the biggest crisis. I don't believe, as I'm standing here, that I am a better developer than most of this industry. But I do believe I have some talents. One is, I believe in myself. Anyone who's known me will tell you that. I have an ego. Yes. That's what keeps me alive. And if any Hollywood guy gets to the top without an ego, I'd like to meet it. That's the way it works. I don't mind my face on the camera. That's right. Dave Perry introduced me to that. He was a visionary. And I saw the way he was doing things, and I said, yeah, Dave, that's right. Get your face out there. That gives you some value, specifically you. I had that sense that I have the value, and I stand here today and have that sense I have the value. And a lot of developers say, oh man, it's hard, and it is hard. It's really hard. But you have to believe if you're good, you have what they want. And if there's anything you can take away from this talk, it's that at every turn, I believed in my value. And Naughty Dog has not sold more than a lot of developers, in fact. But we've made more money because we always had the attitude that if we're not getting paid for it, we're not going to do it. We walked away from Universal Studios when we were making millions of dollars a game because there was more on the table. We believed in ourselves. We believed we could start over with a new product. Believe in yourself. If you're good, it'll work out for you. If you're not, come work for somebody else. It'll work out for all of us in the end. The second thing we have to do is we have to get real about the business. This is the biggest tragedy, I think, for us, is that we really do have our head in the sand. I mean, I didn't get invited to my own premiere. It doesn't really bother me. It's not going to hurt me. I'm okay. I like making games. That's fine, but that actually is not going to get you by in the future because that model is dying. If you don't have the attitude and you don't stand up and fight for your rights, you're going to get squashed because we're unfortunately moving in with sharks. And I like the sharks, by the way, the Hollywood sharks. But that's the way our business is going to have to be run. And you're going to have to struggle. And the struggle's not just going to be on your keyboard, not just going to be with your mouse. The struggle is going to be with the world, to get yourself out there and to proclaim your value. Very, very important. You have to get real about this. It's not necessarily whether you go to a party or whether or not this or that or the other minor thing happens. It's the fact that they understand your value is there. That's what's the bottom line. We also have to unite as a community. It kills me when I hear people say that they won't come to DICE because it's $800 and they don't know what they're going to get out of it. One piece of information, think about that. It may not be my talk. Maybe this is all crap. One other person stands on this stage and gives you good information. One piece of information. $800 is the cheapest piece of good information you'll ever get, man. And you get it at no cost to you besides that $800. We have to start getting together. We have to start thinking of ourselves as a community. Everybody knows what Mel Gibson makes. Every movie. I know what he makes. I'm not even in that industry. And the reason is that he knows if that gets out there, and the agents know if that gets out there, it helps everybody else in that industry. And the information as it flows helps them all. When Mel goes 20 to 25, the 15s go to 20, the 10s go to 15, the 5s go to 10, everybody moves up. If nobody knows what Mel's making, nobody knows what to ask. If one of us in this room fought hard and got our name on the front of the box bigger than average, I want to know that. Because then I can go into that same publisher and say, you've done it once, but we don't share information. The other thing we don't do is we don't get help. We're all the smartest kids in our class. That's how we got into this industry. And we have this belief that because I'm the smartest kid in the class, I should be able to do everything. Well, I negotiate maybe once every 2 years, and I actually think I'm okay at it. But the problem is we're getting in a bigger pool now, and more professional people we're dealing with who have done this 20 times a year. And when you sit down across the table negotiating with somebody who's done it 20 times a year, I don't care how smart you are, there's a reality there. Agents are an opportunity for us. If an agent has 25 clients, whether or not you're under NDA, the agent knows what all 25 clients have got going on. And that agent is in the business of helping. There are lawyers, there are other people out there that you can get that can help you. We have to stop thinking we're the smartest kid in class, because we're the best damn game makers in class. But there's some people out there who have spent the last 10, 15 years of their life doing nothing but negotiating. And when an agent goes into a publisher and he says, you know, on behalf of my client, I have to say, we're going to have to get our names on the back of the box. You can't say it doesn't fit, because we're in the same DVD as the movies are. And you're going to do it for the director that's working on this thing, so why can't you do it for my clients? They say, I'm sorry, we can't do it. Say, you know, I represent 40 people, 40 of the best developers in the industry. And my people get their name on the box because that builds value for me as an agent. And my people are going to get that value somewhere, and some publishers are going to let us do it because they realize the talent that's involved in those 40 people. So if you don't want to do it, that's fine, but you're not going to work with any of my clients, because my clients understand they're the best, they have value, and they need to get that out there. And we need to get help with that. And this, I wanted to close this with a personal note. I want to say again, I do not believe that I am the best developer in the industry. I don't believe that for a moment, but I have been incredibly successful. Not the most successful, but incredibly successful. I don't need a lot of this. I can go out there and I can fight for myself, because I'm pretty damn good at it. And I am going to get help. And I am going to do all the things that I've been saying. But I really don't need it, because I could walk away and I could go do something in another industry, because I've made a lot of money and I don't need the money anymore. What I'd like to do is help somebody who doesn't have that status. Because I feel that the 20 years I've thrown into this art, the art's also thrown a lot back at me. I've got a lot of help from a lot of people along the way. So the fact is, I can stand up here and say what I'm saying, and it can't hurt me. Because I can get money elsewhere and make my games elsewhere, and if I bring it to the publisher, they're going to publish it if it makes sense for their bottom line. But there aren't that many people that have that situation. I want to help those people. I really want to help those people. I think that we need to get together, Game Directors Guild, something like that, to make sure that the people that need information and need help can get together. I really want to, and the reason I'm doing this is to give back to the industry that's made my life successful. And I wanted just to say that at the end. Again, the manifesto. I thought this was going to take a little longer, so I actually have 10 minutes. I'm going to go against my conscience and open it up to questions. Ooh. Yeah. Yes, against my better judgment.
One of the things that has been happening, as I've heard over the last couple of days, the independent developers going away. So that leaves you with a bunch of people that are technically employees of the companies. So what are you really proposing? How do you make that change?
First of all, I'm not sure the independent developer is going away. Now you're getting into, you're asking me an opinion that I've been mulling over, but I'm not really prepared to speak about. But it's possible that the idea of building a team internally is also going to go away. I think middleware is coming. I gave a speech last year that I didn't think video game graphics were going to be the driving force in the sales of games. I look at Grand Theft Auto and say, why am I spending so much on my engine if I'm getting a lot, getting nothing out of it? And Grand Theft Auto can make better content and sell better games. I think the content's going to matter. And if everybody's working on a few pieces of middleware, then that whole technological barrier that we've all been working with for so long kind of goes away. Because I can hire a RenderMan guy from any other RenderMan studio, and he'll pop right into a chair and start working right away. And then his talents can matter more, her talents can matter more. But it's not necessarily going to prevent me from hiring them. And as soon as I can hire them that easily, well, I'm spending, in my company, close to $1.25 million at the end of every game between vacation days and downtime, getting nothing on the disc for it. So then I start up and I got some artists sitting around not doing anything because the designers haven't created the levels. Well, if I can ramp up easily, I can